So here we are at the halls of justice in Dade City for my quasi-judicial unlawful trespass from the Wesley Chapel Tax Collector's Office. Let's go handle this. What is up, YouTube? I'm going to spare you the singing and the whatever. This is part 2 of my trespass appeal hearing. This is the heart of the matter here. This security agent, whatever he is, accosted me. He's wearing a gun. I knew he had a gun on him from the last hearing, and I tried to get this case dismissed for conflict of interest with the judge, but he went forward with it, and this is the first witness, and I grilled him for about 2 hours, and I'm only going to do it in, I don't know, short clips, half hour or so. And I think I thoroughly made this guy regret treating me like an animal when I was in the tax collector's office just trying to do a public records request. We'll see.
So before I call the first witness, I have a couple exhibits that I'd like to move into evidence. I'll pre-mark them. The first is just a copy of Article 6 from Pasco County Code of Ordinances, Section 66, 157 through 159, trespass warnings for public property.
Has this been given to Mr. Filax?
Yes.
It has one.
Everything was emailed to him on Friday afternoon.
Now you can confirm I received that.
Everything was
I'm
emailed.
asking, so will you show it to him then? Just like you, whatever you gave me, I had them show you.
Okay,
I just
thank
want to make sure you know what they're giving me. Do you have any objection to this being entered as evidence?
Yes.
What's your objection?
I wasn't trespassing. I wasn't violating any policy.
That's, I'm asking about this being entered as evidence.
There's no, it's irrelevant. I wasn't doing anything on that piece of paper that,
Overrule your objection.
Okay.
And I'll find that this is being admitted as county's, you want to exhibit A.
Exhibit B is the trespass appeal that he filed with my office on March 5th.
I presume
Go ahead.
a copy of that, Mr. Filax?
yeah, I wrote that.
Okay, so you. Any objection to this being entered as evidence?
None.
No objection to this being entered as county's B.
And Exhibit C is just the notice of hearing for this proceeding that was posted in the Government Center as well as sent via first-class mail and email.
You seen a copy of that, I presume, since
Go ahead.
I'm here? Yeah. Any objection to it being entered as county's C?
All right, first witness is Mr. Jeffrey Gentry. Good morning.
Good morning.
You've previously been sworn, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Please state your name.
My name is Jeff Gentry.
Mr. Gentry, where are you employed?
I'm employed at the Pasco County Tax Collector's Office in Wesley Chapel.
And what is your position at the Wesley Chapel Tax Collector's Office?
I am a safety agent and a driver's license road tester.
As a safety agent, can you just kind of describe some of your duties and responsibilities?
Basically to protect the facility, employees, customers inside as far as protecting their personal property, their personal information, make sure everything goes according to plan.
Objection.
Everything's okay.
What's your objection?
That is not his job title. His job is a security agent. It's not, it has nothing to do with keeping information secure.
I understand that you're not an attorney, and I'm going to give some leeway because of that. But the purpose of the objections are for legal objections to why something should be admitted as evidence, including testimony. If you disagree with
He's
testimony,
misrepresenting his job title and his job
you'll have
description.
your opportunity.
Okay.
Without giving you legal advice, what I would say is, if there's something like that that comes up in testimony, you have your chance to ask him about that and to get him to clarify that in cross-examination.
Okay. Okay, sir.
As part of your job responsibilities, you have security responsibility for the premises.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Gentry, do you have any prior experience in law enforcement prior to working this job?
Yes, sir, I do.
Could you go through that, please?
I have approximately 12 years in the United States Air Force as a security forces personnel and 21 years in the Las Vegas Metro Police Department.
And you work only in the Wesley Chapel office?
Yes, sir.
Does the tax collector have other offices in the county?
That's the only office that I work in.
Does the tax collector have other offices in the
Oh,
county?
yes, I'm sorry, yes, they do.
Are you aware of a prior trespass incident involving the appellant in this case from your Land O'Lakes office?
Yes, sir.
Going to February 2nd of this year, were you working that day?
Yes, sir, I was.
Okay, and taking you to just about prior to 3 p.m., what were you doing?
I was conducting a road test.
Okay, and again, conducting road tests, that's for folks to get their driver's license.
Yes, sir.
So, when you finished that road test that you were doing just before 3 p.m., what happened?
I came in the building, as we normally do. I walk in to the front door, go behind the counter. Within a few minutes, as I was preparing the paperwork, I look over and I see the gentleman standing over by our front door gate area. I noticed that he had a body camera on his shirt, at which time I approached him.
Okay, and when you say the gentleman, are you referring to the appellant in this case?
Yes, sir.
The same person you've seen here today arguing in this case?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you indicated that he was wearing a body camera?
Yes, sir.
Could you please describe like where that was?
It was on his chest there. It was attached to his shirt or a vest of some sort he had on.
And based on what you observed, what did you do?
I explained to him that we don't allow video recordings in this building. At that point, he got argumentative, told me he had a court order. It's not my place to tell him what he can and cannot do. A couple different discussions back and forth. I explained to him our policy. Tried to hand him a copy of our policy. He didn't want to hear it. He didn't want to see it. At that point, I told him that if he didn't leave, he would be trespassed. He then told me I don't have the authority to trespass him, and he continued with his confrontation.
Okay. Did he indicate why he was visiting the tax collector's office?
He just kept saying he was there for to get public information, and I told him this is not the avenue to do it, that he would have to go through an email and ask him what exactly he needed. He never told us exactly what he needed.
So you actually tried to clarify with him what public record he was requesting?
Yes, sir. I asked him if you received a ticket from our gate agent, which time most customers come in, you get a ticket, you shut down the talk to the counter, he did not have a ticket.
Did you advise him that he could leave the body camera outside and come back in?
Yes, sir. I told him he could go put it on his car. He said he would not be doing that. And I said, at this point, then, sir, you need to leave.
Did you ask him to leave more than once?
Several times.
I want to ask you a couple questions about the body camera you described. Were you able to observe the lens was open?
It's the exact same camera he has right here, sir.
Was the lens open?
It was open or closed, I'm not sure. You can see the black screen.
Okay. Did you observe anything about the body camera that was indicative to you that he was recording?
Yes, sir. There's a red light flashing on the camera.
And you have how many years in law enforcement prior to the tax collector?
Total, I have about 32 in the military. But I have about 10 years wearing a body camera.
So that was my next question. You actually have experience wearing body cameras?
Yes, sir, I do.
For about 10 years?
Yes, sir.
And the body camera that the appellant was wearing that day, was it the same or similar to the model you're familiar with?
It's similar, but none of them are the same.
So from your prior experience with all those 10 years wearing body cameras, if the red light is flashing, what does that mean?
It means it's recording.
Okay. What about like standby mode, like it's on but it's not recording? What do you get?
You get a red light, and then if it's ready to record, it's ready.
Explain that again.
It could be, standby could be green, or it could be a solid red. But if it's red flashing, it's recording.
Based on your observations, did it appear to you that he was in fact recording?
Yes, sir.
advised that recording was not permissible in the building, is that correct?
Yes, sir, I did.
Okay, and how did he respond?
He told me he can record wherever he wants to, it's a public place.
Objection. This is false testimony. I never said that. This is why I wish I was recording. All the more reason to record, to have an objective record.
I understand your objection, but it's not a legal basis. You will have the chance to argue or asking questions about it.
Okay, okay.
So, during your conversation with Mr. Felix,
He's talking to you, sir.
I'm listening, sir.
You don't have to stare at me. Judge, please.
Sir, can I not look at anywhere in the room? Is that okay?
I'm sorry?
I don't understand the problem.
I don't want you staring at me with an evil look on your face, if you don't mind. Like you did that day.
I don't understand the issue, sir.
Just address what you've done.
There you go.
alright,
You're still looking at me, Judge. Let's get him under control.
Mr. Gentry, during your conversation with the appellant, did he acknowledge to you that the red light was flashing?
Ask that again, sir.
Did he acknowledge to you that the red light was
He
flashing?
continued to say, I'm not recording.
Did he say anything about the red light?
He just said he's not recording.
So, based on his refusal to leave, what did you do?
I just explained to him that we would call the Pasco County Sheriff's Department and they would trespass.
And did you report the incident to your office manager?
Yes, sir, I did.
Did you have to go in the back to speak to the office manager?
Yes, sir, several times I had to go back in the front to where he was at, back into the office to speak with my manager.
And so when you came back out, was he still out there?
Yes, sir.
And you indicated earlier you had tried to give him a copy of the written policy?
Yes, sir.
And did he take it from you?
No, sir, he refused it.
Okay. So his actions that you testified to on that day, did it represent harm or potential harm to your customers?
So we had to stop business, road test.
Objection.
Can I finish?
What's your objection?
They choose to stop business. I have nothing to do with that. Saying they have to is bold-faced lie that they have to stop business.
You have a chance to argue that.
Okay.
Okay. So, Mr. Gentry, you were describing how his actions constitute a harm to your customers.
From the continual, he didn't want to leave. We had to stop business. We had a couple of customers that were upset because they were trying to get their driver's license, get the road test. We were behind. And then at that point, he became vulgar, started using profanity towards myself, started insulting me, persons of my family, stuff like that. I guess thinking he was trying to get a rise out of me, I'm not sure. But other customers did hear that.
Okay. And did that interrupt your business operations?
Yes, sir, I did.
Did he ultimately leave the inside of the building at that point?
I think within a few minutes of him just realizing that he wasn't getting anything else from me, he did decide to walk outside so he could wait for the sheriff's department out in the parking lot. He walked out and I closed and locked the door so he could not come back in.
And your office called the sheriff's
Yes,
department?
sir. They showed up within probably 20 minutes after the whole situation started.
While they were on scene, did you request the sheriff's office to have the account trespass from the property?
I did, yes, sir.
Did Ms. Polk also, your office manager, did she also request him to be trespassed from the property?
I would assume so. I don't know. I didn't hear the conversation she had.
Well, I don't want you to assume. Did you then request the sheriff?
I did, yes, sir. I did.
Okay. And was that decision based on your determination that he had violated the video recording policy?
Yes, sir.
Was it also based on his refusal to acknowledge your verbal request?
Yes, sir.
Was it also based on the potential harm to the public threatened by his actions?
See, let me back you up. What verbal request?
So, Mr. Gentry, you had verbally requested the appellant to not record in the building, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you had verbally requested for him to leave the building if he was going to continue to record.
Yes, sir.
Did he acknowledge those requests?
He did. He refused.
So, was your decision to have him trespass based on the fact that your verbal request had gone ignored?
Yes, sir.
And those were essentially, is it fair fair to say that those were requests for him to leave the building?
Yes, sir.
At a later date, did you provide a written statement to Corporal Zalva with the sheriff's office?
Yes, sir, I did.
What's that?
His written statement.
His false statement? Sure. Go ahead.
Gonna approach you with what's been pre-marked as Exhibit D. You take a minute to recognize that?
Yes, sir, I did.
How do you recognize it?
That's my handwriting. It's got my name on it. That's right.
Is that the same, or a copy of the written statement that you gave to the sheriff's office in this case?
Yes, sir.
At this time, we would seek to introduce the written statement into evidence as Exhibit D. Any objection?
I object
Why?
because there's so many false statements on that.
Okay, is there any legal basis for the objection other than?
He's making false statements under oath.
Okay.
Just to respond, that goes to weight, not admissibility.
Right.
Welcome to cross-examine on that.
I agree. I'll admit it. Did you hear his response?
Not really.
Because that goes to weight of the evidence and what your argument goes towards what weight I should put into the evidence, not the admissibility of it legally.
Okay, sir.
I have no further questions.
This will be admitted as county seat. Mr. Felix, you turn to the
May I get a quick drink of water? Because I know it's going to take me a while.
Sure.
Is the fountain on here?
Yes. Just a minute break.
So we're taking a water break.
Yeah, we can take, does anybody else need a break?
Right?
I'm sorry,
Anyone else need a break?
Yes, sir.
do you need a break?
No, sir, I'm good.
Anybody else? Alright, we'll proceed.
So, this is the court order you gave me last time, sir. Can I show this to you? This is the order you gave me. This is from, you should have this one.
It's a copy of the supplemental request to re-enter the Land O'Lakes property. The order on that.
So as you see right here, this is you saying that at Land O'Lakes I can only stay outside, correct?
Yeah, let me take a look.
And the highlighted part says there's 4 other locations I can go exercise my First Amendment rights and do governmental business.
That's correct.
Okay. Okay. So,
Do you want to admit this as evidence, or
sure.
you want me to take
Go ahead.
additional notice of it? I mean, it's part of it.
No objection.
Okay. You admit it as, respondents.
So we're clear that,
Sorry.
thank you, sorry. So we're clear that the Wesley Chapel Tax Collector's Office is one of the other 4 locations, correct?
You asking him?
Well, you wrote the order.
Yeah, you can't, I'm not under oath and I'm not a witness, you can.
Does my court order say that there's 4 other locations? Did you read the court order?
No, sir, I didn't.
Why didn't you read the court order? Why did you ignore it?
I would object to the characterization as a court order.
That's not a court order.
Yeah, I think we're splitting hairs there, Mr. Daniel. Order of the magistrate. I understand why he's calling it a court order. I think that's not the issue as much as, I think you need to lay some foundation of, did he know that this order existed?
Did I tell you I had a court order that day?
Yes, sir.
Did I try to hand it to you?
Yes, sir.
Did you take it from me?
No, sir.
Why didn't you take it from me?
Because you were recording in our office, and it's our policy for you not to record.
Did you see a recording of mine?
Yes, sir, I did.
You
I
saw
saw the recorder on, sir.
you saw a recording of
I
mine.
saw the recorder on, sir.
Sir, that's not the question. The question is
That's my answer, sir.
non-responsive. This is going to be a long time if this happens.
Answer the
I
question.
saw the recorder on.
What was
Did you
the
see a video that was recorded by this camera?
No, sir, I did not.
Okay. Now let's stick to the question I'm asking, okay? Okay. Is this camera recording right now?
I don't see that it is.
So you don't believe this camera is recording right now?
I don't see
Here,
that.
you can hold it.
I don't see that it is.
So you don't believe that's recording
I
right now?
don't see that it is.
So it's not recorded.
I don't see that it is.
In your opinion, is that camera recording right now?
I do not see that it is.
that responsible?
Sir, I'm answering.
Clarify the answer. What are you saying exactly?
I don't know what he's asking, sir.
Is that camera currently recording by your 29 years of law enforcement experience with body cams?
Are you asking me if I see the red light on or not, sir?
I'm asking you if that camera is recording. I don't press any buttons. You didn't press any buttons
No,
that
sir, I
day.
didn't.
You sure knew I was recording that day,
It
right?
doesn't appear to be.
So it doesn't appear to be recording.
It doesn't appear to be.
Correct. So if I could show you, Your Honor, there's no lights blinking, and it is recording. So blinking lights don't mean anything. And as a matter of fact, the Pasco County Sheriff's Office has body cams, and when they record, there is no red light blinking. Every camera is different. Every camera has different settings. And I told him at least 15 times I was not recording because I already had the court order. You told me I cannot record inside the tax collector's office, so I turned it off when I went in there, and I brought in my clipboard instead and took notes.
Yeah, just.
Okay. So obviously you don't know.
Mr. Felix, let me just explain this. You have your chance to make that argument. Right now, let's just focus on asking him questions
All right.
based on his
Sure.
No, it's procedural.
So right here, right now, you believe it wasn't recording. You just testified that.
Sure.
But that day you knew it was recording somehow because of what?
The red light was flashing.
Is there a red light flashing?
Not
No.
right now.
But it's still recording, isn't it?
You're correct, it is. So it could be recording anytime. It could.
Correct.
While you're in the office with the.
Wait, am I asking the questions or are you?
I can answer.
Your Honor, who's asking the questions
Can I
here?
not answer the question?
Who's asking the questions? Me or
He's
you?
allowed to answer, but sir, don't ask any questions.
Don't ask me any questions from here on out, okay? So that day I was recording because there was a red light blinking?
Yes.
Today there's a red light blinking or no?
No.
But it's still recording, correct?
Yes.
So you have no way to know specifically if I'm recording or not, is that correct?
Sir, can I make a statement to that?
Objection.
And you can answer the question.
Just answer the questions.
So most common people would know that if a red light.
Objections,
Sir, I'm
most
asking the
common
question.
people.
I'm asking the question.
Objection.
You can object to it.
And in today's world, we all use Google, do we not? Google states, as a red light is on a surveillance camera, typically indicates that the camera is actively recording in operation.
And what does typically mean?
Typically means most of the time that's what it would be. Sometimes it is, and if it's not on, it can still be recording. So if you're in my office with the camera on or not, it is still recording.
So it's
If the
recording
red light
even
is
if
on.
it's recording even if it's not recording.
If the red light is on, it is recording. You just showed me that the red light don't have to be on to be recording. So if you're in my office with the red light on or off, it's still recording.
Are you hearing this? It's recording regardless because he says so. So because you say
So
so,
you know what the common people say, what it says.
What
Everyone
it says?
is to know. The internet says exactly that.
the internet.
Yes, sir.
So everything on the internet is true? Is that what you're
Ask me,
going
I'm
with?
just answering your question.
Is everything on the internet true?
No, sir.
What research have you done on this specific model?
I don't know that model.
So you have done zero.
No, that model. No,
Did you know this model when I walked in that day?
I saw this video camera, sir.
Did you know this model of camera when I walked in there
I
that day?
did not.
So you did not know what type of camera I was using. You don't know its functions.
It's a camera.
Do you know its functions?
Are we going to continue with this?
Yes.
Well, why wouldn't we?
Answer the questions.
Yes, sir.
This is the same attitude you got that day.
That's the same attitude I got from you, sir.
Right. No, sir. I went in there to make a public records request.
Yes,
Did
sir.
I go in there to make a public records request?
You never told us what you needed, sir.
I would think it's speculation as to why he was
Yeah,
there.
I would agree with Mr. Gibbs.
I missed that.
He objected that your question calls for speculation.
Which question was that?
Did you go in there and make a public records?
Did I tell you I was making a public records request?
Yes, sir, you did.
Did you tell me? What did you tell me?
I told you that you have to submit a form, and you have to, we do it through email, we'll send it to you email. You said, no, I'm here to do it today. I said, you have to take it. You did not.
Does the Florida statute say I can do it in person?
I don't know if I can read Florida statutes.
Okay. When the police showed up, did you come outside and ask me what my public records request was?
Yes, sir.
When I was inside, did you say, we don't do that here and you're not allowed to do that here?
I said, we don't have it here, you have to submit it this way. And you said, I want to do it here.
So I was going by chapter 119, I was going by the law, and you were going by?
What I'm told in our policy, sir.
Do you have a copy of this policy that says you don't do
I said, sir, I don't do records requests. I let my manager know what the record request is. You would not tell us what request you want.
You did not ask me.
Yes,
Until
sir.
the police showed up and you came outside after you threatened me many times.
Mr. Gibbs.
Sir,
How many times did you threaten me?
threatening you out, sir. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to ask a question. What was the threat that I made?
How many times have you threatened me?
Sir, I asked you to leave.
How many times did you threaten me?
I asked you to leave
Did you ask me to leave?
several times.
How many times did you threaten me?
I asked you to leave several times, sir.
He's not responsible.
Clarify what you mean by threat.
Did you tell me that I'm not allowed to stand up on my feet?
Sir, I told you what, if you're gonna stay in our office, that we have a policy that people cannot be standing because it's a violation of the fire code. If you're gonna be there, I need you to have a seat.
Did you tell me it was illegal inside your office to stand on my feet?
I said you cannot be standing inside the office because it's against fire code, is what I told you, sir.
So did you say it was illegal?
Sir, I told you you cannot stand in our office because it's against the fire
Again,
code.
he's not responsive, Judge.
Did you use the word illegal?
I did not.
Did I come in and sit down at the waiting area?
At first, I don't know what you did, sir.
Did you review any surveillance footage?
No, sir, that's not my job.
During your testimony to him, you said, I said I was not going to stop recording. Correct?
Yes, sir.
You did say that. And then in the next breath, not even a minute later, you said that I told you I wasn't recording.
Yes, sir.
So I said I'm going to keep recording?
You told me at the point, sir, maybe my word was misspoken. Maybe it was that you said, I'm going to continue to stay inside and I'm not going to take my camera out.
Did you tell me to take my camera outside, or did you tell me to take it off my body?
I said you need to put your camera in the car and you're allowed to come back inside if you'd like.
You know that's a bullshit lie.
No, sir.
Again,
Sir.
this is why I should record it, and he's able to record it.
You can make arguments, just
Got it.
ask questions, please.
Did I ask the clerk peacefully and calmly that I'd like to make a public records request?
So the first few minutes you came in, I don't know what was said, I wasn't there.
When you came out and spoke to me, did I tell you I'm here to, that the girl was handling it, everything was okay, and I was there to make a public records request?
I don't recall that, sir.
You don't recall?
No, sir. I don't.
Were you armed?
Victor Allen.
Relevance is a gentleman threatening me, and he possibly has a gun on him, as Timothy Couette testified in our last hearing, that they all are wearing
I
guns.
don't understand the threat. Still, there was no threats made. What threat was made?
Yeah,
If I had video, I'd play it for you, but I'm not allowed to record it.
there's not an objection to facts, not evidence, but,
Were you armed that day?
Mr. Felix, since Mr. Felix is also a party, he can testify to things, so that would put facts in evidence. Paul, I have a question.
Were you armed that day?
Yes, sir.
Did you have a gun on you when you were accosting me?
Sir,
Rephrase the question,
did you see the gun, sir?
Why would I rephrase the question? Accosting means to walk up to.
Okay.
Did you have a gun on you when you accosted me?
Concealed, yes, sir.
You did have a gun on you.
Concealed, yes, sir.
Okay. Were you being aggressive?
Sir, I'm 6'6", 250. If I stand...
Objection.
Sir, I'm answering the question.
My question is, were you being aggressive with me that day? I didn't ask how tall you were.
Sir, I was doing my job asking you to leave.
Were you being aggressive with me that
Sir,
day?
if you interpret aggressive, that's on you.
Were you being aggressive with me that
If
day?
you interpret that way, sir, that's on you.
Were
I
you
don't feel I was
being-
being aggressive.
There you go. Just answer the question. No, we don't need narratives or stories,
Ask
okay?
relevant questions, I'll answer them, sir.
I'm sorry?
I said, ask relevant questions, I'll answer them, sir.
What was irrelevant about it?
Sir, what does me being armed have to do with anything?
You having a lethal force on you?
Okay.
Engaging a member of the public aggressively? And
Let's
making
not go
threats?
back and forth. Alright, you ask specific questions.
He's not in control. He won't answer simple questions. The same way he was acting that day, except far worse.
Mr. Felix, we don't need to provoke it either, though.
Okay, I'm not provoking anything. I'm asking very clear, direct questions.
Just like we did that day, yes, sir.
Did I tell you the clerk was handling my problem and everything was fine?
I don't recall that, sir.
How many times did I tell you I was not recorded?
Couple times, I'm sure.
Was it about 15 times? Was it every time you claimed I was recording?
Possibly, yes, sir.
So every time you claimed I was recording, I told you I was not recording,
Yes,
correct?
sir. Sure.
And you haven't seen any video created by this camera or any other camera of mine?
No, sir.
Okay, so there's no video evidence that I was recording anything?
That I know of, no, sir.
No, okay. You haven't seen any evidence, other than your own opinion,
I don't look for video.
on body cameras and your internet research?
I don't look for any body camera like that, sir.
I'm sorry?
I don't look for videos like that.
Did I ask you that?
I was answering the question.
Did I ask you that?
I was answering the question. I don't know.
I didn't ask you that question.
Sir, I asked and answered the question.
I didn't ask you that question. Just to answer the questions I'm asking you. What you're doing right now is stop explaining.
I told you I don't look for the videos, so there'll be no.
No what?
That would be a no. I didn't look for your videos.
That's it. So no is the answer.
No.
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 Simple as that.
No.
Let's keep it simple.
Sure.
Did you insist I remove my camera?
Yes, sir.
Okay. From my person.
From the person, put it in the car, whatever. I don't know.
It's not whatever. It's one or the
I don't know
other.
the exact terms. I told you you need to place it in your car and you can come back in.
You said nothing about that.
Okay.
Am I, is there a policy that says I can't wear a camera?
It says you can't record inside our building, sir.
That's not my question, Your Honor. With all due respect, he's being very evasive right
The
now.
policy say you can't have a camera on you.
No, sir.
So there's no policy that says I can't wear a camera.
No, sir.
Right. So what policy was I violating?
Recording policy, sir.
And the recording based on a blinking light that you don't see today?
At the past,
So you have no clue?
You've been in the Land Lakes office recorded before. It's been known that you recorded before. You came in our office. You were standing with the camera when it's blinking. At the time, I felt that you were recording. That's why I
So
asked you to leave.
this whole trial is based on your feelings. Is that correct? It's not actual facts.
Sir, you were recording inside our office. I asked you to leave.
Wait a second. I was recording?
Sir,
Where's your evidence?
the blinking light on the camera.
Is it blinking now?
I've answered your question.
Why are you looking over
I
here?
answered your
Is
question.
there a reason you look here?
I answered your question, sir.
So there's no blinking light?
I answered your question already about that, sir.
Okay.
I'm not going to continue.
So you were confirming, I'm sorry, sir, let me speak, please. Let me ask a question. So we're confirming there's no red light blinking now, but it is recording.
Again,
So your
yes, sir.
feelings from that day are invalid.
My training and experience, sir, is what
Your training experience is what?
Yes, sir, from radio recording, from cameras. Red light on, red light off.
Do you have training in body cameras? And which models do you have training in? He's looking for you to help him.
I'm looking for the relevance of this question, sir.
You claim from your experience that you know
I've
body.
never used that body camera.
I'm sorry?
I've never used that body camera. Is it
From your experience, how many cameras have you trained with? How many cameras do you know about? And what type of body cam training have you received?
Sir, I wore a camera for 10 years.
What kind of body cam training have you received?
I wore a body camera for 10 years.
Did I ask if you wore a body camera?
That's part of training, sir. The longer you wear it, the more training that you have.
You have training specific to body cameras?
To a body camera that I wore for 10 years. Yes, sir, I do.
So you have training on a specific camera that you wore?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that means you know every body camera, how it works?
No, sir.
So you have no clue which cameras are recording and which are not. You can only assume and go by your feelings.
Go by the experience. Yes, sir.
So your feelings.
Experience.
Experience, and then you use your feelings.
Experience.
So no factual evidence.
Sir, I answered your question.
So no factual evidence.
I answered your question.
Do you have factual evidence that I was recording that day?
No, sir.
Okay. Motion to dismiss right there. He's contradicted himself several times already.
So clarify to me what your motion is.
First he said I said that I refused to stop recording, and then he said that I told him I wasn't recording. I never said I was recording. I know that I'm not allowed to record because I've already gone through the case. I shut it off, and I brought a clipboard instead, and took very good notes. And when I'm turning in my version of what happened that day, you're going to see the contradictions and the omissions and the obfuscation that Mr. Gentry left out here. An armed man accosting me inside the tax collector's office.
Get back to the motion to dismiss. What's your case?
The motion to dismiss is, he just said that he has no factual evidence that I was recording. He's basically going on his opinion. and the way they felt.
I think, at this time, I will reserve the right to rule on your motion after the county finishes presenting the witnesses.
Did Mike Fasano say people are allowed to record in the office?
I don't know, so you have to speak to Mike Fasano.
I'd like to submit evidence of Mike Fasano and his employees saying it's okay to record inside the tax collector's office.
How do you have this evidence?
I have it on video. Body cam footage from the police. They speak freely on body cam because they don't realize that we can get a hold of it. Can I submit that, please?
I don't know how you're gonna submit
I'm
all
gonna
that.
play it for you.
Mr. Bounty?
You can review it.
All right.
Well, you just click that one right there. It'll play for you.
Mr. Bounty, do you wanna see this before I look at it? Third one in, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, one is 57 seconds and there's a picture of Jerry there. Oh, I'm sorry, let me, hit the volume off there. I apologize.
You can just hold it if you want.
Sure.
This is the part where I play in the video where the safety agent from Land O'Lakes and the head manager at Land O'Lakes both tell the police officer that Mike Fasano and Tim Couette, number 1 and number 2, said we can record inside the tax collector's office as long as we stay back and don't cause any havoc.
Mike Fasano instructed them basically, as long as they're not, creating havoc or anything like that, they're allowed to record inside with no issues or anything like that. They're just trying to raise a correct.
So, Mike Fasano and Tim Couette as instructed.
If I can object, I agree the video says what Mr. Filax says it says, but questioning this witness on, I don't believe there's been any foundation laid that he has any knowledge of it, and it didn't appear that he was in that video.
Mike Fasano was
He
his
can
boss.
ask, he can be asked what he's been instructed at
Is
work.
Mike Fasano your boss?
Yes, sir.
Is Timothy Couette your boss?
Yes, sir.
Did you just hear the testimony that they said you can record inside the tax collector's office?
I didn't hear anything from him.
Can I play it for him?
I would object
Let
to
me
that.
ask a question. Have you ever been told that by any of your superiors before, that people can record, they just have to be away from the counters?
No, sir, I've never been told that.
Do you have an objection?
I have an objection to not the question, the way you framed it, if that's fair game, but as far as asking him about a video from a different office that he wasn't there for.
I'm not asking him about a video, I'm asking him about his boss's orders.
Ask the question then.
Mike Fasano is your boss, right?
Yes, sir.
Timothy Couette is your boss, right?
Yes, sir.
When they give these orders to the staff, do they not inform you of them?
You gotta ask him what the orders were given, what orders that he's aware of that he's to follow. You know what I'm saying?
But I'm building the foundation.
Okay, all right.
How-
I'll give you leeway.
How is the orders from Fasano and Couette given to you?
So they're given to everyone else in the chain of command. I've never been told that,
So you missed the memo? Is that what you're saying?
call it that, I've never been told that, sir.
But it's clear that Mike Fasano told the police officers from the.
So I didn't hear that, so I don't know, so whatever.
Can I play it for him, please?
I'm gonna object again to asking him about a video that he has no knowledge of.
Here's my biggest problem with the video, is it's not Mike Fasano saying it, it's third party saying that Mike Fasano said it. So
It's the office manager and the police.
and she's not here to testify, so.
Did they call you? Where'd you go?
Was that officer?
Yeah.
That deputy?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
I don't know if the video was him. I don't know which deputy it is. That's what you're asking.
Yeah, that is what I was asking.
No, I don't know which deputy it is, but the deputies were informed, and you can hear the supervision over the radio saying, it's a public place, as long as they're in the public lobby and no restricted areas, they can record. So if that's the policy for Land O'Lakes, that's the policy for all five. Is there different policies from one tax collector's office to the other?
Not that I know, sir.
So all the policies are congruent all the way through all five locations?
Sir, I don't write policy. You have to ask me that question.
You don't know if the policies are the same for every office?
I don't write the policy, sir.
I didn't ask you if you write the
I'm not the
policies.
person to answer that question.
I didn't ask you if you write the policies.
I don't
Let's
know.
stick to the question
I
I'm
don't know,
asking.
sir.
You don't know what?
You're answering your question.
You don't know if the policy is the same in every office.
I do not know, no, sir.
So possibly the policy can change from one tax collector's office to the next.
I don't know that information, sir.
Can I play the video for him?
Sure.
You know this person?
Yes, sir.
It's Jerry, right?
Yes, sir.
You know this lady?
I have no idea whether it's that.
You do know Jerry, right?
Yes, sir.
And what does he do there?
Jerry's a safety agent and a road tester.
Same job you do, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the police officer speaking to Jerry and the office manager here.
So I don't know that that's a police officer.
This is body cam footage.
Okay. I don't know that, sir. You're telling me that, I have to just assume.
You see where it says, you're a body cam expert, right?
Sir, ask the question.
I'm asking a question. Are you a body cam expert?
No, sir.
You have experience with body cams?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you see where it says, Axon Body 20, you see all that, right?
Yes, sir.
Is that indicative of a police body cam? This
It's
logo,
a body camera, yes, sir.
do police use this body camera here?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay. We're clear this is body cam footage from an officer.
It's body camera, yes, sir.
What part are you unclear about that as an officer?
Yes, I don't know that.
What do you think is
I agree it's body cam footage. I don't know.
So you think, what, a random citizen is behind in the office here?
Random citizen have body cameras, you know, sir.
This is inside the office, beyond the
That's not my office.
gatekeeper.
I'm not in that office. I don't know that office. I don't work in that office.
So you don't understand that this is not a public body?
Mr. Filax, I'm confused on what you're trying to.
He's trying to claim that he doesn't realize it's a police officer's body cam.
Is that your
I
testimony?
mean, sir, if we're going with speculation on these questions, you asked me if we know, then how do I know it's the police body camera, sir?
Is that your position? You don't know?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I understand what he's saying. I just wanted to clarify. How do I know that's a police body camera?
Okay.
Well, most common people would know, anyone that studies body
It's a
cams
body cam.
or has experience with body cams, especially police body cams, that this is the logo and this is what they look like, Axon body
I
cams.
don't know body cameras, yes, sir, it does.
Okay,
Okay, you want me to watch the video or not?
am I asking the questions?
Hold on a second.
Am I asking the questions or
Sir,
are
is
you
he not
asking?
going to show me the video?
Am I asking the questions or are you asking the questions?
Sir, is he not going to show me the video? If so, I'd like to see the
Did
video.
he tell you to stop asking me questions?
Sir,
I did, and I'm gonna say it again.
He told you not to ask me questions, right?
Got it?
You understand that?
Yes.
English is your first
Mr.
language, right?
Filax, Mr. Filax, no, I'm back.
I'm not trying to
I
get at you.
made a ruling.
He's being very evasive. So, this body cam footage from Pasco County Sheriff's Department.
Again, this is the video where the head office manager of Land O'Lakes and Jerry, the security guard, are telling the cop that Mike Fasano and Tim Couette allow recording inside the tax collector's office, and they have music blaring so loud it's a disco, and they do it on purpose. They tell the cops that on body cam video too.
Mike Casano instructed them basically as
Are you aware that this is a police car and it's an officer inside of a police car speaking on?
I've seen it, yes, sir.
Okay.
long as they're not, creating havoc or anything like that, they're allowed to record inside with no issues or anything like that. They're just trying to get away from the open area. They can't go with any officers or anything. That's not that they can come in. Correct.
So is that clear? The police said that we can record inside, according to Mike Fasano, unless we're creating havoc. Is that right?
Sir, I've never been given that order.
Is that what you just heard on this
Oh,
video?
yes, sir, I did.
Okay. You heard a police officer and his supervisor say, we can record inside, according to Mike Fasano, as long as we're not creating any type of havoc.
Yes, sir, I heard.
You did hear that.
I heard.
And Mike Fasano's your boss.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Mr. Filax, when was that video recorded, do you know? Does it say on the
It's
body?
either August, late August.
Does it say on the video?
I can look. Looks like 8/28/2023.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, 8/28/23. Did you adamantly assert that I was violating your recording policy?
Yes, sir.
Did I tell you I wasn't recording?
Yes, sir.
Did I have a notepad?
Yes, sir.
Was I taking notes on my notepad?
Yes.
And you refused to take the judge's order, correct?
I never looked at it, sir.
Are you going to answer the question I asked, or are you going to answer a different question?
Sir, I answered your question.
You did not.
Mr. Felix, I heard his testimony the first time, and he didn't take it.
Okay, so you did refuse to take it, good. Did you say, good for you that you have a judge's order?
Possibly. I don't recall
You know, possibly?
that. It's possible. I don't
Something you
recall
would
it.
say?
I don't recall.
Okay. Did you escalate the situation?
No, sir.
Was I calm, before you came into the situation, was I calm and peaceful in trying to make a public records request?
Again, I don't know the first part you came in, sir, so I can't answer the question.
When you came up to me, was I calm and peaceful?
Were you calm? No, sir, you weren't calm.
When you came up to me, I wasn't calm.
No, sir.
What was I doing?
You were being aggressive
To who?
to me.
You're telling me when you walked out the door and walked up to me, I was being aggressive?
As soon as I approached you and told you that you can't record inside, you became aggressive. Yes, sir.
You mean when I said I wasn't recording and you denied it?
The whole time when you tried to argue with me and tell me you weren't recording, you were aggressive. Yes, sir.
No, sir. Were you aggressive?
Sir, if someone is aggressive to me, then I'm aggressive to them.
Oh, so you're responding. Is that your code of conduct for so is your code of conduct in the tax collector's office? If a patron's aggressive with you, you can be aggressive with them?
Sir, I have to ask them to leave the property.
Is that your code of
So
conduct?
we don't have a code of conduct. I don't know what your question is.
You don't have training on how to deal with the public?
Yes, sir, we do.
Okay. And is it your training that if someone's being aggressive, you escalate and compound the aggressiveness back?
There was no escalation to it. If someone's aggressive, then we try to attempt to de-escalate. If that doesn't work, then we continue to explain to them.
So other than
Sir, if
telling
you felt I'm aggressive, I don't know what to tell you.
so other than telling you that I'm here to make a public records request,
Mm.
how was I being aggressive?
Sir, am I allowed to use profanity here?
Profanity?
Yes, sir.
If you're quoting somebody, you can't.
Okay. You tell me at the point when
You said so many bad words.
When I told you, when you told me
that's
to leave,
aggressive, sir? You don't find that aggressive?
well, you're going way, you're
No,
going
sir.
way far.
Sir, you open the door. I'm asking the
Who's
question.
asking me questions again?
No, sir, I'm not. I
Answer the questions, please.
Who's asking the questions here?
I agree, Mr. Felix, just answer the questions.
Just answer the questions, please.
Asking the question again, sir.
When you walked up to me, did I say I was here to make a public records request?
Yes, sir.
Was I calm and peaceful?
No, sir.
Did I say, I'm here to make a public records request?
So there's a difference between.
Is that what I did?
different levels of-
Did I do that?
No, sir, you didn't.
Just answer the questions. I know that's hard.
I answered your question.
So I didn't do that. So how was I being aggressive?
Sir, when someone starts getting loud and they get up in your face.
He's not
Sir, I'm answering the question.
Again.
Mr. Gentry,
Yes, sir.
please just answer the question, how is it being aggressive?
At that moment.
Describe it to me.
At that moment when you accosted me.
Sir, can you rephrase the question?
When you accosted me,
Can we rephrase with the accosted, sir? I don't understand how I accosted him.
I think that word can be misleading.
Yes, sir.
how's it misleading? Do I need to look up the definition?
You can look it up if you want, but what I'm telling you is the common use of it is a negative sense. Just telling you my opinion.
To go up to or stop and speak to someone in a
I
threatening way.
understand that's the definition. I'm telling you that's not how most people take it. So I'm asking you.
Are we going by leaving the definitions or are we going by how people feel again?
I don't think it's not a legal issue. it's understanding the question.
I was accosted by an armed man.
Yeah, that
Okay.
sounds, yeah. I
Okay.
think you're intentionally using that language to make it sound worse than it was, but
What, I'm sorry, were you there, sir?
no, I'm telling
Then
you.
how do you
that-
know it's worse than it was?
I'm telling you that that's why you're using that word, is my opinion.
So your opinion, I'm using a word that's by textbook dictionary definition, I'm using it on purpose.
Yeah, I just asked.
When you walked up to me aggressively, is that a better way to put it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually,
When you walked up to me aggressively, did I do anything other than say to you, I'm here to make a public records request? Are you okay? You look like you're tearing up a little.
Sir, I felt at the time, again, this is,
I want to make sure he's okay.
Just don't play these games like that. I know what you're doing. All right, just.
I'm okay, sir, I'm not
You
tearing
answer,
up.
ask
I'm
the
okay.
questions. You don't have to cost the witness using your language.
A cost? Walk up to threatening man? I didn't walk up to him. Again, he approached me.
Badger may have been a better choice of words.
Okay, so when you aggressively walked up to me, did I say anything other than I'm here to make a public records request?
Sir, when I walked up to you, I asked you what you were doing there.
And I
You had
said,
said that you made a record request, and I told you that that's not how we do it, and this is how we do it. And I tried to tell you that we cannot video record, and you refused to take our policy.
Mr.
And that's
Gentry,
what-
up to that point, what was he doing that was aggressive?
At that point, nothing. Up to that point.
so I was there for legitimate business.
No, sir.
I wasn't.
I asked you if you'd taken a ticket, you said you had not.
You don't need a ticket to make a public records request.
Yes, sir, you do.
What law is this?
Sir, it's not a law, sir, it's our policy. Then you go to the counter, the clerk helps you, she goes to the supervisor.
Did I not tell you I'll gladly take a number?
You didn't tell me that, sir, no, sir.
I did it.
No, I don't recall that.
So if I was actually recording and I
I'm not
had,
gonna argue back and forth with you, I'm trying to answer your question.
then just answer them
I did.
and leave it at that. So, see, you threw me off there.
I'm sorry.
Let's see here. So I peacefully asked the clerk to make a public records request. Is that correct?
So before I got there, I don't know what you asked. You told the clerk something,
So
I wasn't there.
You came out. I told you I'm here to make a public records request.
Yes.
Correct. Okay.
Yes.
And then you said, "What's that?" And you're pointing at my camera, correct?
Everybody can, yes, sir.
I said, "It's a camera."
Yes, sir.
And you said, "You're not allowed to record in here."
Yes, sir.
And I said,
You said I'm not recording.
"You just testified
I said-
earlier."
I
You
said-
just- Objection.
Okay. Yes, sir.
You just testified earlier that I said I was recording and I'm going to keep recording.
Later in the conversation, you did, sir.
I never said that
Okay.
because I wasn't recording.
Okay.
That's the whole point of this case. You understand that, right?
Okay.
With all your body cam expertise, correct?
Okay.
Okay. So I said I wasn't recording, correct?
Okay. Yes.
Non-responsive,
Yes.
sir.
Sir, I answered the question.
Okay is not a responsive.
Is the
Yes.
answer yes?
Yes.
Okay. And then you told me to take it off, correct?
And I told you, sir, I felt that you were recording because the red light was flashing.
And then I said
And
what?
You should take it off and put it
And
on.
what did I say
You
then?
said I'm not recording.
What did I say about the light blinking?
I don't recall what you said about
I said that doesn't mean anything, correct?
that. Sure, yes, sir.
Okay. Then I showed you the court order, correct?
You
I
took-
showed you,
You held it out, yes, sir.
and you just ignored it and stormed back into
I went to the manager to let
the...
her
Yeah,
know.
you went back to the manager's
Yes,
office.
sir.
Okay.
Explain, it's her office, sir, she gets to make the decisions.
Who's that?
The office manager, it's her
Who
office.
was her name?
Amy,
Did I ask you for your supervisor multiple times?
yes, sir.
Did you bring them?
They were busy.
Or did you
sir.
keep escalating?
No, I told them to come out to talk to you, they said they would get to you in a few minutes. I can't make sure that, they don't work for me.
I didn't ask you that.
I'm just telling you, I tried.
I didn't ask you that.
Okay,
Stick to the questions. I know this is tough.
yes, sir.
So, when you went back, you told them what?
I told them that you were there to have a record request.
And?
They said they would get to you as soon as they could.
So when you came back up, how many more times? So then, this gentleman came out, right? And he was recording me.
Yes, sir.
Is he violating the policy?
No, sir.
Why is that?
So I don't have to pass that on.
Wait.
He's an
Is there a
employee.
policy that says you can't record in
He's
there?
an employee, sir.
Is there a policy that says you cannot record in there?
Sir, he's an employee.
Is he answering a different question again? He cannot answer the right question for some reason.
Mr. Gentry,
Yes.
just answer the question.
Just answer the question.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, what?
What's the question?
So you don't even know what I asked you.
So you asked me,
Sir,
sir?
ask the question, please.
Ask the question.
Felix.
Is recording permitted in the tax collector's office under your policy?
In the lobby, no, sir?
Anywhere?
In the lobby, no, sir.
Anywhere.
To my knowledge, in the lobby, sir.
So you can record behind the lobby?
So what the supervisors and managers do, sir, I don't know. That's not on me.
Is there a recording policy?
Yes.
Does it say you're not allowed to record in there?
In the lobby, yes, sir.
In the lobby?
Yes, sir.
So does that mean I can record in the bathroom?
Sorry, in the bathroom, I don't know.
Does that mean I can record behind the lobby?
No, sir, because you're not an employee, you're not allowed back.
Okay. Is there an exception in the policy for employees and police officers?
I would assume so, yes, sir.
Can you show me that?
I don't know, sir. Again, I don't write the policy, so I don't know.
What exhibit is the policy, sir?
I haven't seen that policy being entered yet.
Oh, no? Okay. I know it's here somewhere.
The county ordinance on trespass was entered,
Yeah.
but the policy of the tax.
It's gonna be entered. I think he's gonna enter it later. Okay. Is this
You
the
have a
video?
copy of the policy? Is that the policy?
Yeah. He's gonna submit it too, right? He's gonna submit it.
Well, if you're gonna use it, you need to submit it too.
I'd like to not show it over.
Let me look at it, just make sure.
Can you show me on this policy where police officers and employees of the TCO are exempt from recording?
Check to relevance. The issue in this case is whether or not the appellant violated the policy by recording the property.
The relevance is if I can't record, why do they have special privileges? Why isn't their camera subject to the recording policy? And in the last hearing, Timothy Couette said, his boss said, not even the cops are allowed to record in there. Meanwhile, they let all the cops record and their employees record all they want, and they do it as an intimidation factor. If they have such a problem with recording, why are they doing it?
Let me first address his objection. I tend to agree, we're not here whether somebody else recorded, but whether you did or did not record and violate the policy, right? That's the purpose of today's hearing.
The policy's not enforced equally amongst everyone. That's discrimination.
That's a separate issue than why we're here today.
Okay. Can you show me on there where police officers and tax collector office employees are exempt from the recording policy that you so adamantly defended that day?
If I may be allowed to read.
Sure, take your time, sir.
On paragraph 5, the government, like any private landowner, may preserve the property under control as to use which is lawfully dedicated in a government workplace. Like any place of employment exists to encompass a business employer. Therefore, the government has the right to exercise control over access to the workplace and any interruptions to performance of the rules of employees. Very plainly, sir.
So which part says that the employees are exempt from, or police are exempt from the recording
Therefore,
policy?
the government has the right to exercise control, access to the workplace to avoid interruptions to performance of duties of employees. That tells me, sir.
What part of that says they are allowed to record in there?
Sir, when I read line 5, it says right there that they have access, they can make the decision to who has access and control.
So they can write a policy for the public that they don't have to follow themselves.
I'm just,
Is that what you're getting at? Is that what you're getting at? Just answer the question.
yes.
So you're saying government has rights above and beyond my
I
own?
can't answer what the government does. I'm not.
You just said,
I'm just telling you, you asked me to read the policy, sir. That's all I'm doing.
and that's how you're interpreting
That's
that.
what I read right there. That they have control and access, they can make the decision.
Are you gonna do a narrative, or are you just gonna answer yes or no questions?
Right.
These are yes or no questions.
I'm not.
Mr. Filax, what's your point? You're telling me, is your position the tax collector can't make rules?
So if I can't go in there and do this, how can this gentleman walk right up to me and put it in my face? Why, you don't see the contradiction there?
I understand your argument, but I don't know that there's a legal basis. That
Was he trespassed for recording?
No, sir.
Why not?
Sir, he's an employee.
And?
Therefore, the government has the right to exercise control over the access to the workplace in order to avoid interruptions and the duties of the employees.
Right, so what part of that says they can violate the recording policy?
Sir, so right there, the government, they have control.
It says that the government can violate the recording policy?
Mr. Filax,
He's not answering the question,
Sir,
sir.
I answered your question.
He's not answering. Does the government have special privileges?
I will find his answers non-responsive, but I don't see the point of your questioning here because I think we're splitting hairs.
The point is, as you see in the video, they're exercising selective enforcement. When they feel like he can record, when they don't feel like he can't record, when they know someone's been recording before they can target him. Did you see the other 12 people in there recording that day?
Can I respond?
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I don't agree with your characterization of that because they're not applying it to patrons of the tax collector's office differently.
There are no patrons of the tax collector's office. There's no such thing. No one goes in there voluntarily. A patron is a voluntary person.
Okay.
I volunteer to give you X amount of money for this amount of
We
services.
tend to disagree on the language.
People who go in there are mandatorily going in there and giving up their money involuntarily. It's not the same thing as a private sector business at all.
Okay, well, I'm not gonna get into that argument. I think that's a little different.
So they can discriminate against me.
No, I think that certain employees of a government agency have the right to do things that other people that aren't employees don't have to do. I think if you went out here and tried to climb up on the pole and change the red lights, there would be a problem with that. You'd probably be prosecuted for that, but an employee could do that. I think, I don't understand your point. If
Was that his personal cell phone?
So I don't know. I can't answer the question.
I'm telling you, I'm not following. I don't think that we're hitting on anything significant with regards to your case.
You and I had a phone call and you said you agreed with me that Timothy Quett was violating his own policy. You agreed with me. Now you're disagreeing with me. Again, conflict of interest.
I don't recall.
Again, your memory is not based. Doesn't matter what you recall.
Whether
It's on the record.
a violation of their own policy or whether that's permitted or not, I still don't think it's relevant.
So they can violate their own policy. Okay, understood.
Probably, yeah.
I'm sorry?
I said probably, yeah. I don't think it's.
They can probably violate their own policy.
I don't think that. I don't know. I'm not here hearing a trespass of an employee, but I would assume an employee could.
You can assume that.
Yeah, because I'm not here to decide that today, so, I'm just not following your argument. I think employees of a government agency may have certain rights that other non-employees, I'm not saying all government employees, but of that particular office, may be able to do things that other people may not.
Based on what?
Based on what?
Yeah.
Common sense, in my opinion.
So common sense will tell me if I have to follow the policy, they have to follow the policy. Common sense.
Maybe.
Otherwise, you'd be discriminating against one group of people versus the other, and you're giving the government extra rights that the citizens don't have. So in other words, so this gentleman can go out in the lobby and just go like this to everybody and record them? That's okay? Yeah, is that right?
I said I don't know. I'm not here to hear that today, but.
Well, that's my whole point, is they're discriminating against us specifically to keep us out of it. It's discrimination.
Okay, I missed your point. So you're saying that you're being discriminated
Of
against.
course.
And what is that discrimination exactly?
Discrimination is, John, you can't, even though I wasn't recording, you need to take off, you need to undress. A journalist carries cameras. So what? If I want to go to a tax collector's office and do a news story, then I have to go all the way to my car to get my equipment and then I'll come all the way back. There's no policy against wearing cameras or having cameras.
I get your argument.
Right.
I haven't made the decision on
I
it.
got you. I'll keep it moving. I'll keep it going. Did I ask you many times to give your supervisor to leave me alone?
Yes, sir.
I did tell you to leave me alone.
Yes, sir.
Was there anybody else that could have handled the situation besides you?
No one was there at the time, sir.
There was nobody else in that whole building that could have handled the situation besides you.
No other safety agents there, so that's my job.
Was there any supervisor there?
They were busy, sir.
What? Again, that's not the question I asked.
Yes, it was supervisor.
There was a supervisor there.
Yes, sir.
And why couldn't I wait to speak to the supervisor?
They were busy, sir.
So since they're busy, I'll wait.
No, sir, not if you're recording this at all.
I wasn't recording. So am I allowed to wait in the office for a supervisor?
As long as you sit down, yes, sir.
Did I sit down?
No, sir.
I never sat down.
No, I walked away. You may have sat down.
I never sat down when you were in
I
there.
don't remember. I don't And then we went back and forth about why you had to sit down. I remember that part. And then after that, I thought you sat down.
Give me some sort of raise.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you for admitting it, sir. Did you take my property to the back?
Which property was that?
My court order.
You asked me to.
No, I did not. Did I ask you to take it to the back?
You asked me to get it to a supervisor.
Did I ask you to take the court order to the back?
You asked me to get it to a supervisor.
Yeah, what is the relevance?
He didn't take it back, and he never asked me to take it back. He refused to take it. He already testified.
Okay, that's where I was confused, because I thought you said he didn't take it. Okay.
He did not take it.
I understand that.
This gentleman came out and recorded me.
Got it.
I nice and calm. I was peaceful all the way up until they gave me my property back. This is closing argument.
Gave
Right?
you your property back.
Yeah, they had my property. I handed it to this gentleman right here,
Okay.
and he took my property and took it to the back. And then I sat there peacefully, calmly, and waited for them.
Let's finish
Okay.
with this witness.
So did he take the court order to the back?
I don't know, sir. I wasn't with him. I was doing.
You were with him. You weren't standing right next to
This is
him.
what he was doing, so I don't know. I can't testify on it.
Were you standing within 3 feet of us
Initially, yes, sir, I was.
when I handed him the court order?
I don't recall that, sir. I don't.
You can disagree with his testimony, but his testimony is he doesn't remember. I understand that you disagree with
And
that.
do you understand why an objective recording is necessary for things like this?
I'm not here to
Okay.
comment on that.
Obviously, an objective record would have been wonderful right now. Because otherwise, we have to go on nonsense. How many times did you threaten me while holding my property? Threatening me with arrest? How many times did you threaten me with arrest?
Characterization of the question. It's subjective. He says he doesn't feel he's threatened.
Did you threaten to arrest me?
No, sir.
No?
No, sir.
No.
I can't arrest you, sir. I didn't threaten to arrest you.
Did you say, I'm gonna arrest you?
No, sir.
Did you say, I'm gonna be under arrest?
Sir, I said, when the police department gets there, you can be under arrest for trespassing.
Oh, that's, so your memory was clear now?
For that part, yes, sir.
Oh.
Let's get the word straight.
Did you say you're gonna get arrested?
I said, you can be placed under arrest for trespassing.
Verbatim.
Yes, sir.
That's not an answer.
I said, you could be placed under arrest for
Those were your
trespassing.
exact words.
Yes, sir.
You never said you're gonna be under arrest.
For trespassing. You're leaving that part.
Did you say you were gonna be under arrest?
Yes, for
Thank
trespassing.
you. Did you say you were gonna be under arrest?
Yes.
Did I repeatedly tell you to let your supervisor handle the matter?
Objection asked and answered.
You didn't answer. You just said they were busy. That's not an answer.
Fair enough. Answer the question, did he repeatedly ask to see your supervisor?
Yes, sir.
Okay, did you bring your supervisor up?
No, sir.
Did you tell me the supervisor doesn't want to speak to you?
Yes, sir.
But you just testified that they were busy.
Some said they were busy, one said he couldn't speak to you. Sir, I don't
Oh,
care.
so now it's some object. Stop.
Yes, sir.
Just answer the questions.
Yes,
No
sir.
narratives.
Yes, sir.
So you just testified that they were all busy.
Mhm.
Now you're saying one of them said they won't talk to you. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did I repeatedly tell you to de-escalate and to cease and desist?
You reading from the policy, Mr.
No,
Gill?
I'm reading from my.
Where's the policy at? Are you still intending to enter that as evidence?
I didn't give it to you.
I think you gave it to us.
You're going to turn in a copy of that, right? He's going to turn in a copy.
Alright, I'd like to look at it.
You want it right now?
Yeah, if you don't mind. Do you have, does he still have the copy of it? The witness?
You want to give me your copy?
It's a 2-page. You have a 2-page copy?
I don't think so.
No, he gave me one.
Yeah, I was gonna introduce your witness later, but, we can introduce it now if there's no objection.
Do you stipulate him introducing the policy now without?
The video recording policy
Right,
of the tax collector's office?
just without going through the questioning of the witness?
Go for it.
Alright. Is it pre-marked E?
It's pre-marked.
Thanks. Be admitted by consent of.
So did I tell you to de-escalate?
You said lots of things, possibly yes.
Okay. Did I tell you that I did, and I did ask you for your supervisor, you responded They were all busy except one who didn't want to speak to me, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And why didn't you testify that first time?
To what? I'll get the question.
Wow. Wow.
You said you were saying,
Wow.
so I wasn't sure.
Re-ask the question, I'm sorry.
I'm just asking why you had contradicting testimony. So after telling me to leave me alone many times, did you say, no, you're stuck with me?
I don't recall this.
Did I try to walk away from you?
I don't recall this.
You don't recall me walking away from you to get away from you
No.
because you were bothering me so much?
No, sir.
You don't remember that?
No, sir.
Oh, thank you. Again, another reason to have an objective record.
Objection argumentative.
Yes, I agree, Mr. Felix, we can get to the argument
Okay.
later.
So, all the times you told me I was going to be arrested, trespassed, you told me to leave, was my property not in the hands of your manager?
I don't know where your property was at the time.
Did I not say to you, when you told me to leave, did I say to you, you guys have my property?
I don't remember that, sir.
And you said, I know we have your property, but wait outside.
Possible, yes, sir.
Okay,
Possible.
okay. You attempted to restrict my movement.
No, sir.
Did you say I wasn't conducting official business?
Yes, sir.
Was I conducting official business?
Not that I know of, sir.
Did I not tell you I was there to make a public records request?
Yes, sir.
Is that not official business?
Yes, sir.
So I was there to do official business.
I asked you several questions about.
Objection.
Sir,
Answer the question. Was I there to do official business?
that I know of, no, sir, you weren't.
Is public records request official business?
When you notify us of what the public record
Is public records requests official business?
when you tell us what the public record request
Your Honor.
is, sir.
Your Honor, that's a yes or no
Answer the
question.
question. He doesn't have to answer it, yes or no. Answer the question.
Is public records request official business?
Yes.
Okay, and that's what I said I was there to do the very first time I spoke to you, correct?
Yes.
So I was there to do official business, correct?
Yes.
Okay, very good. And the court order says I can do official government business there, correct?
As long as you tell us what the business is.
Did I tell you what the business was?
You would not tell us what the public record was that you needed.
Did I tell you I was there to make a public record request?
Will you get a what the public record was?
Did I tell you I was there to make a public records request?
Yes.
Okay, now,
Did you tell anybody what the record was?
No, sir. Oh,
he said you cannot do that here. That's not legitimate business. This is private property.
So before he got there, you did not request it?
The guy was hostile. He would not let me
Mr.
speak.
Felix,
Yes.
answer the question.
Go ahead.
Before he approached you and interacted with you, and you requested a record from somebody else?
I asked the clerk, I'm here to make a public records request. She said, what's that? I said, chapter 119 of the Florida statutes allow me to make a public records request. Hold on. She went back in the back.
Okay.
Next thing you know, hostile judge comes up.
Okay.
Okay? And then he tells me, did you tell me I'm not allowed to do that here? We don't do that here.
Yes.
Do you do that there?
They do. I don't do that there.
Does the tax collector's office fulfill public records requests and mandatory to take them under the Florida statutes?
Sir, I'm not a clerk at the tax collector's office. I don't know what they can do.
Was I
They
dealing
told
with
me
the
you
clerk?
could not do it until you tell them what the actual public
You
record
never.
was.
Did you ask me what the record was before the police showed up and you came outside?
Yes, sir, I did.
You did not.
Yes, sir, I did. Several times.
He's lying.
You can tell me that when it's your turn to testify.
Your Honor, right now, I would play you the video. right? And I would prove everything he's saying is wrong. But I'm not allowed to make an objective record in a public building. Correct? So he can come here and say whatever he wants. You told me to leave. I told you I'm here to make public records requests. You handed me back my stuff and said, we don't do that here. That's not official business, correct?
Sure, yes, sir.
But you just testified that it is official business, right?
Yes,
So it is official business. You were wrong. Is that right?
yes.
Okay, good. And then when the police showed up, you and the other security guard came out and asked, oh, Mr. Felix, what were those records you were wanting?
No, sir, that's incorrect.
I have it on video.
I did not. No, sir.
You did not come outside and say, Mr. Felix, what were the records you were requesting?
After I asked you several times what it was.
You never asked me inside. You came outside after the police showed up.
I asked you several times inside.
I would love to play you the video, but I can't, Your Honor. See where I'm going with this? If I can't make an objective record,
Well, the point of the hearing is for the county to put on evidence and you to put on evidence and me decide what evidence I want to put
I'm not allowed to take evidence or make
There
evidence.
is evidence, you can testify. You can
Okay.
tell me he's lying,
Okay?
and I will weigh his testimony.
And there's a baselessness in the totality, right?
And I will weigh it all together and
Okay.
make a determination if he's
Okay,
telling
sir.
me the truth or not. That's
Okay,
all
sir,
I'm
thank
doing.
you. It would be easier just to have an objective record on video, right?
I'm not getting into that. Mr.
Okay.
Fitch. You know I-
Just so we all know, video doesn't lie. Safety agents do. Did you claim that I called you honey?
So you called me many things.
Did you claim that I called you honey? Can he answer a direct question?
I do not recall
What's
one
the
specific name, sir.
What is this? What is
Because the point is, he was in such a rage, he was even hearing things I wasn't even saying. Did you say that I called you honey?
I do not recall that, sir.
Did you say the tax collector's office is private property?
Yes, sir, I did.
Is the tax collector's office private property?
To my knowledge, at the time it was.
At the time?
Yes, sir.
How about currently?
Well, they say it's public, it's private, so I don't have the answer.
Is the tax collector's office public property?
I do not know.
You don't know that where the place you work,
No, sir. I
if it's
don't.
public or private?
I do not.
Why did you say it was private that day?
I assumed it was private property.
So you're assuming.
That it was
So
private.
you understand you're wrong again,
I
huh?
got one, yes, sir. Maybe I,
So you are wrong.
We all
Okay.
can be wrong.
I'm glad you're admitting that again.
yes, sir.
Did you swear an oath to the Constitution?
Excuse me, sir.
Did you swear to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States? Are you looking for hand signals
I'm
or
trying to understand.
are you looking for hand signals?
What does that have to do with the tax collector's office?
You know, did you swear to preserve? Is he asking the questions or mine?
Give it some context with regards to what
You were in the Air Force, right?
as a tax collector.
I did, yes, sir.
You were in the Air Force?
Yes, sir.
And you were a police officer?
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna,
What?
Yeah, I object to an oath outside the context of this employment.
yeah, that's what I'm getting at, Mr. Felix. His,
Why does the oath,
take an oath,
does that cancel out when you become an employee for the government?
I just don't think I think it's a different context. I'm trying to get what
The
you're saying.
First Amendment is free press. If he swore an oath to the Constitution, he swore an oath to protect my right to free press.
Are you arguing the constitutionality of the policy?
Nope.
Then what's the relevance of this?
Oh, wow. He has 29 years of experience. He's taken 2 oaths to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution, and he doesn't even seem to know it. Do you know the Constitution?
Yes.
What is the First Amendment?
I'm going to object for several reasons. If he's not challenging the constitutionality of the policy in this hearing, response?
Yeah, Florida, the federal and the Florida Constitution gives me the right to inspect and copy in any form or fashion public records. That's Article 1, Section 24, A and B, Florida Constitution. You swore to protect that too. Did you take an oath when you took a job in the tax collector's office?
No, sir.
You didn't swear an oath to the Constitution?
No, sir.
Did you forget your oath from the past jobs?
Objection again to relevance.
Yeah, Mr. Felix, where are you getting at?
If he's a 30-year veteran / police officer,
His credibility, is that what you're saying?
his credibility and how much he knows the oath he took, and if he even knows the basics of the Bill of Rights. That's very important here. I am free press, guaranteed job under the Florida Constitution and the federal Constitution. And we can't say the Constitution doesn't apply to the tax collector's office. You can't.
I'm not saying it doesn't apply, I'm saying that I'm not here to make a determination whether a policy is constitutional or not.
I'm not asking that.
Okay.
I just want to know what he knows about the oath he took. Do you know the First Amendment?
Yes, sir, I do.
Can you please explain it to me?
Sir, I don't understand the question. What does that have to do with my tax collector job?
Are you asking the questions? Who's asking the questions, Your
Sir,
Honor?
I don't understand it.
Again, this is how he was being in there. Unreasonable, evasive. This is exactly the same behavior, except worse. He was being far more aggressive. And he was armed.
Mr. Felix, what's the relevancy of it with regards to why we're here today?
Article 1, Section 24 AB says I have the right to inspect or copy in any form or fashion any meeting with a public official or public documents.
Right, if you can argue that to me and then tell me that he testified you weren't.
I just want to know if he understands the First Amendment. Why is that? Why is
I
that?
don't know if it matters whether he understands it or not. The point, I think, matters whether.
Have you ever heard of free press?
Yes.
What does that mean?
Objection. If the line of questioning is regards to public records laws, it's outside the scope of his employment, it's outside the scope of this hearing, it's not relevant.
I would disagree to an extent of whether he was there for legitimate business or not. And if he was there to make a public records request, I think that's legitimate business, but we've covered that. And I've heard the testimony that he didn't think it was legitimate business. I disagree with him. I think it was legitimate business.
Of course it is.
If you were to make a public records request. So my point is, where's relevance? What are we doing here?
I just want to see if a person who took 2 oaths actually understands the oath he took.
All right, well, that's not relevant to his
So
duty.
you're going to say that from that? Okay, no problem.
Let's move forward.
No problem.
I'm not saving anybody, sir. Let's move it along, because I don't.
I mean, if he doesn't understand the very First Amendment, sir, that goes to his credibility.
Unfortunately, well, fair enough, but I already heard him testify that he didn't think a public records request was legitimate business, so I've taken that into consideration.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
But unfortunately, there's probably a lot of people that don't understand the First Amendment. That's not.
But usually those people don't take an oath to it.
Well,
That's the
I
difference.
don't know that he's testified he didn't take an oath for his current role at the tax collector's office.
He's also testified that he has taken 2 separate oaths before that, and 30 years of
I'm
experience.
telling you, it's not relevant to today's
Okay,
testimony.
fine, that's
Let's
fine.
move along.
That's fine. You guys say. Why couldn't I wait for a supervisor?
I'm sorry, sir.
Why was I not allowed to wait for a supervisor?
Sir, I don't know. When I notified the supervisor, they didn't come, that's not on me. From there,
Were you the person trying to force me out?
because we thought you were recording. Sir, I'm answering your question.
Were you the person who tried to force me out?
Yes.
Okay. Why did you not allow
Can you
me?
lower your voice?
Why did you not? Because you're having a hard time understanding
Sir,
questions
I
unless I raise
Can
my
you lower
voice.
your voice, please? There's
Your
no
Honor.
reason for you to yell.
Your Honor,
Sir, there's no
Mr.
reason for you to
Gentry,
yell.
please just answer the question.
I'm not yelling.
Yes, sir.
Answer the question I'm asking, you won't have any issues, okay?
Sure.
Okay. You were the person who forced me out.
Trying to force you on this.
What? You were the person who forced me out. Why did you not let me speak and wait to speak for your supervisor?
Because you can speak, wait for them outside, as I said.
Why can't I wait inside?
You were recording inside the lobby, sir.
I was recording?
Yes, sir.
You just testified that I wasn't.
I thought that you were recording at the time.
So
I
your
thought you were
feelings, so
recording.
it's your feelings,
I thought you were recording
based on,
based on my experience.
with blinky lights.
Yes, sir, the blinking lights.
You see blinky light?
No.
Okay,
It's-
so you were wrong.
Yes, sir.
Very good. So he, again, motion to dismiss, he's claiming he's wrong, he doesn't know that I was recording.
County's not done putting on evidence, I can't
Okay,
dismiss
all
it.
right, very good. Did you claim that you don't go by the law, your boss is the law?
I don't recall this, sir.
You don't recall saying that?
No.
Okay. Is Christian a coworker of yours?
Yes, sir.
Were you being sarcastic with me?
No, sir.
When I said I have a coworker, you say good for you.
It's possible, yes, sir. If you take it sarcastic, then yes, sir.
Okay, so you were being
Yeah,
sarcastic. Thank
It's
you.
possible.
Is that professional? Sarcasm? When I'm there to do legitimate
Yes,
business?
sometimes it's needed.
Sarcasm is needed in a professional setting when you work for the government.
Yes, sir.
Where is that in your policy?
There's a density policy, right?
Were you trained for that?
That's myself, sir. I'm a person. I'm allowed to be sarcastic.
You're a person.
I'm allowed to be sarcastic.
You're allowed to be sarcastic.
Yes, sir.
And you believe that's professional.
Yes, sir.
Sarcasm is professional.
I said yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Sarcasm is professional. Got it.
It's asked and answered, you don't have to agree with his answer. Mr.
I don't, okay, sarcasm is professional. I got it.
That's his answer.
That's fine. Did you claim I'm not allowed to be in the tax collector's office for public records requests?
Objection as an answer.
Yeah, I thought he already testified that he did.
When you finally returned my property to me, did I leave?
The sheriff's department was there, so I don't know when you left. I don't know. I don't know when you left, sir. I know when you walked out the
Did
door.
you not just testify
You walked out
that
the door, I locked it.
when you returned my property, did I leave the lobby?
Yes,
Did you lock the door?
yes,
Was there about 50, 60 people in there?
yes.
Is that a fire hazard?
No, sir.
Locking the door is not a
I
fire
think we have two exits, sir.
Okay,
We have two other exits.
okay. You were very worried about the fire code earlier when I was standing on my feet. So you handed me my paperwork back and I left. And that's when I finally blew up and started cussing, right? Not a second before that.
Sure.
Right. When you testified, you made it sound like I was cussing you from the second I got in there, right?
Oh, not from the second, no, sir. I didn't say
It
that.
was after about 15 minutes of you berating me with your sarcasm and your good for yous and stop calling me honey, right?
Mr. Filax.
I'm asking a question.
I know, ask questions, don't testify here.
I am asking a question. Is that right?
No, sir, I didn't get the question. It was too much.
Before you handed me my paperwork, did I say anything cross to you?
I don't remember at what point the paper was handed to you, but I know before you left our office, you swore at me, you called me names, you called my mother names.
That's right.
There's no excuse for that. There's no reason for that.
Is that illegal?
Inside a building here in the middle of the public, yes, it is, sir. When the public is
It's
around,
illegal.
it's called disturbing the peace, yes, sir, it is. It's
Oh.
called the public nuisance.
Did you
yes, it
report
is.
that crime?
I did, yes, sir.
And what happened?
So I don't know, that's what the sheriff's
So
department.
there's no free speech in there either?
No, that's not free speech, sir. Free profanity in front of the public is not free speech, sir. It's not covered under free speech. If you want to, actually, if you read, you should look it up. It is not covered under free speech in front of the public.
Houston versus Hill?
Objection to relevance.
You had-
Relevance is he's trying to say that after he finally made me blow my stack,
ignored all the laws, ignored the fact that I wasn't recording. I finally grew up because I had no other recourse left but my free speech. And he's trying to use that to demonize me as if I was doing that the whole time. I went in there perfectly peaceful. He didn't even need to enter the situation at all. The clerk handled it. If there was an issue and they didn't understand public records, you had a supervisor come out like I asked for 10 times, and we peacefully work it out. Not this aggressive, armed man coming up to me and berating me and being sarcastic towards me. That's the relevance.
I agree. I love it.
So after you're wrong about so many things, the recording, the contradicting testimony, the sarcasm, the accosting me, after finally you gave me back my property, that's when I engaged in my free speech for you, correct?
Oh, yes, sir. Sure.
Okay. Sure or yes?
They're both the same.
Your Honor.
I said yes, sir. I don't understand.
You said yes and then you said sure.
Sure, and then yes, and then but they're both
Just
the
pick
same,
one.
So I'll take it as a yes.
Yes.
Okay, yes, very good. Did you say, I trespassed you, and I tried to give you the paperwork and you wouldn't take it?
Yes, sir.
So you trespassed.
I'm allowed to trespass you.
Did you write the trespass notice?
You wouldn't take it, sir. I was trying to explain to you to be trespassing.
Wait.
You don't want that.
I did take it.
And afterwards you did, yes, sir.
And what was the trespass that you handed me?
So the trespass that I tried to hand you was the trespass to the property because you were there and I asked you to leave, you would not leave.
What did you hand me?
Tried to hand you a copy of the policy and the trespass.
No.
Yes, sir.
When you locked the door, then you came outside. Oh no, this was before you
Oh,
locked.
sir. You were wrong.
Before you locked the door, you said I tried to give you the trespass paperwork. And I said, give it to me. And then you handed me what? What did you hand me?
I don't know what I had.
You handed me the video recording policy.
Okay.
You believe that's a trespass warning?
I had that also, but you wouldn't take it.
You did not hand me any trespass warning.
So that one-
I did tell you to give it to me.
Okay.
I did say yes, hand it to me, and you handed me the video recording policy.
Okay.
And I specifically said to you, this is not a trespass.
Okay.
Correct?
I don't recall that part.
You don't recall handing me the video
Okay.
recording policy?
No, sir.
So let me, is it your testimony day that you wrote out a trespass
I
warrant?
did not have a trespass, no, sir.
You had a
I had a
trespass?
trespass form.
Trespass what?
The form, we have a form that says the trespass for the county code and everything on it.
So why didn't you give it to me when I asked?
Because the sheriff's department's on the way, they're gonna take care of it.
Oh, but you said you handed it to me.
And sir, I was handing you the paperwork. If it was in
The paperwork you handed to me was,
then I mistakenly handed you only the.
so you're mistaken again, understood. And you don't recall coming outside after the police showed up and said, Mr. Felix, what were those records you were requesting?
Okay,
Objection,
so-
after the answer.
Don't recall that?
Mr. Felix.
Yes, sir.
Sustain his objection, which was that it was asked and answered.
Did Christian come out after you did and ask me, Mr. Felix, what were those records you were requesting?
I don't recall that, sir. I don't know what he said.
Is Christian here today?
No, sir.
Is the tax collector's office above state law?
No, sir.
Is the policy above state law? everyone knows, since I'm not allowed to record inside the office, I brought a clipboard and this is the complaint I submitted to the tax collector's office about him and everything that happened that day.
Did you give it a copy to?
No, I didn't
Steve?
read it.
Steve?
Did you read the complaint I turned in against you?
No, sir.
Were you talked to about the complaint?
Not yet, no, sir.
Were you disciplined?
I don't even know that complaint, sir.
So you don't even know that a complaint was filed against you?
No, sir.
I think that shows how much they care about their employee conduct. You don't even know that a complaint was filed against you?
No.
I think that shows how much they care about their employee conduct.
While he's reading that, Mr. Filax, do you have the full copy of the policy?
I know the policy, sir, but I wasn't recording, so it's irrelevant. That's the whole point. I knew I wasn't allowed to record in there, thus I wasn't, thus I brought a clipboard. For this,
I'm bringing it up because you made a statement about law enforcement. Other individuals being recorded. The policy specifically says that.
that's updated. It wasn't like that on our last hearing. They do, again, they're just learning as they go, they're doing on-the-job training, and they update it to their feelings and opinions, and they're not looking at any law whatsoever. Tim Couette and his management team sit in the office, they say, this is what we want, and we're gonna get these guys out of here, like you testified in the last hearing. And they just make it up out of thin air. They're not following any ordinance, they're not following any law, they're not following any constitution or anything. They're not even using a lawyer. He copied and pasted it from the Manatee County Tax Collector's office because he testified right in front of you because they had guys there that thought they could do the same thing, exercise their right to free press. So we just copied and pasted their policy. Again, this is a clown show. All they have to do is look up the law. They have people and plenty of resources, tax-funded resources, they can find out everything they need to know. And if it's legitimate under the Florida state statute. On your official statement here, you said, he stated he was not recording. But you testified earlier that I said, I'm going to keep recording.
Yes, sir.
What page are you reading from?
It is a voluntary statement form.
The first page?
Yeah. So you're admitting you contradicted yourself. Very good. He stated he was here to obtain public records. Are journalists allowed to bring their cameras inside?
Well, they're not recording inside here, so far as
So if I brought 25 cameras inside with me, it's fine as long as they're not recording, right?
I know.
Okay, so why would you tell me to take it outside?
I did.
Well, why would you tell me if I'm allowed to have
I
it?
don't know that you're recording that, so if I may elaborate, that's okay. If someone was to come in like that, then they would have to get permission from Ms. Fasano.
Just to have a camera?
Just so you know that the people have to come in to do this, if they're recording, they're doing a news interview, whatever they're doing. It's not
I'm
what I'm
asking,
asking.
you're answering a question I haven't asked. Am I allowed to have my cameras in there?
As long as you're not recording this.
Okay, so I can bring 50 cameras in there.
Or no, yes, sir.
Now, do you have the authority to tell me to take my cameras outside?
Yes, sir, I do.
You do?
Yes, sir.
Even if I'm not recording?
Yes, sir. It's our property, and we have rules, and we have policies.
What rules
And
does
my
I can't
boss-
have a
and
camera?
My boss says, I don't want the cameras in here. Even if she says on the fly, she said, hey, you know what, Jeff, I don't feel comfortable with these 12 cameras in here, ask them to leave. Then I will do so.
Oh, so on a whim?
Yes, sir. If the office manager decides that this is interrupting the.
So what if the officer decides, I don't want black people in here?
So it's obviously too much. It's obviously a different.
Oh, so that's too far, but violating the First Amendment is
It's obviously a
okay.
different range.
I'm sorry?
It's obviously a different range.
I'm sorry, is recording not a constitutional right?
You are correct, sir.
It is.
Mr. Filax, are we going into the?
No, but he's trying to say that on a whim, his manager can say, they can't have camera. That would mean they can say, anyone wearing a red shirt today is not allowed in here. Anyone who's black, anyone who's wearing a cross. You can't just say on a whim. It's gotta be lawful. It's gotta be backed by a law. Again, that gives them carte blanche to discriminate against anyone they feel like they don't like. And they obviously don't like us. Even though we're perfectly peaceful. Until we're accosted by gunmen. Am I allowed to have a gun on that property?
No, sir.
Why is that? What law is that?
You're not allowed to carry guns inside your facility.
Oh yeah, what law is
You're not allowed to carry guns
Yeah,
inside your
irrelevant.
facility.
that? What are you basing that on?
Yeah, the objection is relevant, and I'll agree to sustain it. I'm gonna sustain the objection that it's not relevant. The question's not relevant.
It's not relevant that
There
there
are
aren't,
over here today.
there aren't black people.
Do you have any objection of what he's trying to admit? Have you finished reviewing it?
I've reviewed it, it's essentially his narrative of the event, so I think he can submit it to the special magistrate for review, but ultimately, the best evidence is his testimony.
That is my testimony.
Is that an objection or not? Objection.
No, it's not admitted. I know, Judge.
Still, you can submit that as your exhibit. Felon's exhibit. Did you already submit it? Yes. Yes. So B, exhibit B. I don't have any fancy exhibit stickers, so I'm just gonna write.
Yeah, that's fine. So on a whim, anything your supervisor tells you to do, you're gonna do it. Is that correct?
Within reason, sir.
Within reason or within the law?
Within reason.
So you go what, by reason and not the law?
Within reason, sir.
But not the law?
So we always follow the law.
You do follow the law. Does that include the First Amendment?
Yes, sir.
So you were, so right to free press
Yes, sir.
doesn't exist in there?
Yes, sir, it does.
So you're saying now you're saying I
We have a
can?
policy, sir.
So now you're saying I can record?
Mr. Felix, again, we're going through the constitutionality of the policy.
He just said he follows the law. The Constitution is the law.
Okay.
How's that not relevant? That is the law.
I understand the argument, but whether the policy is constitutional or not, it's not.
I'm not saying that. He said he goes by the law.
Alright.
So you go by the law, right?
Yes, sir.
Is the First Amendment the law?
Yes, sir.
Do I have a right to free press?
Yes, sir.
Did you violate it?
No, sir.
You didn't force me out of a public property for engaging in my First Amendment right?
Mr. Felix,
Yes.
it's too broad an issue now, because there are reasonable time, place, and manner restrictions that can be.
So he doesn't know if he's following the law. Is that what we're getting at? He's saying it goes by the law, you're saying the law is irrelevant in this case.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's not relevant. I'm saying the questioning is irrelevant because we're not here to challenge. This isn't the forum where I explained to you last time to challenge the constitutionality of the policy.
I'm not challenging the constitutionality of the policy. I'm challenging his statement that he follows the law. So you follow the law.
I'm gonna object to him having a legal debate with the witness.
It's not a debate.
It was a safety officer for the tax collector. He doesn't write policy.
I mean, I'm tending to agree, so I don't understand.
So the law doesn't come into play with him then. So him saying he follows the law is a disingenuous statement.
I think you're arguing the constitutionality of it.
I'm not.
Because if the policy is, if he believes he's following the policy, and you believe that the policy violates the law, then
I'm saying he violated the law, not the policy.
Okay.
Okay. So you say you go by the law, right?
Yes.
Is the First Amendment the law?
Yes.
You looking for hand signals, eye signals, eyebrows, give him something.
You're not asking me questions, right?
I didn't ask you a
I'll
question.
object if it's inappropriate.
Okay. You're not giving him hand signals or anything, right? Okay. So you just said you follow the law, right?
Yes, sir.
Is the First Amendment the law?
It is part of the law.
Yeah. Okay, is the Constitution the law?
Yes, sir.
Okay. In the First Amendment, is there a right to free press?
Objection to calling for a legal conclusion.
I mean, you just gave a legal conclusion.
Mr. Fields, we're going down the same road.
Alright.
It's right to free
Have
press.
some constitutionality not being part.
There's reasonable time, place, and manner restrictions, whether this policy violates or
Yeah,
not.
while they're open and open to the public, correct.
Whether this policy violates,
I'm not talking about the policy, I'm talking about the individual who violated it.
we're here about trespass. which is
Right,
based
I was
on-
trespassed unlawfully against my right.
That's your position today, and I'm hearing that.
Alright.
And I'm hearing the evidence.
I didn't realize that was such a tough question about the First Amendment.
It's not a tough question, but it's not relevant.
He's looking at YouTube for help. Have you read the court order since that day?
No, sir.
Why did you choose to ignore the court order?
Well, that's a management's position to read on the.
You wouldn't give me a manager, correct?
Or they were not coming out.
Why?
I don't know.
Objection.
As we've gone over this, Mr. Fields, you've asked him, I don't, you can't change his testimony. If you don't like his testimony, I understand.
Alright. And you said Mike Fasano and Tim Qued never gave the memo that there are a lot of people are allowed to record in the tax budget.
Objection as to him.
Sustained.
You remember me asking you, am I allowed to be here, inside here at all?
I don't recall, sir.
You don't recall that?
No,
And you said no,
I don't recall.
not for that, not for public records?
I don't recall.
You don't recall?
Uh,
Would it be better if I played you a video of what you said? Would that refresh your memory?
I don't recall.
You don't recall if it'd be better if I played you a video?
If you have video, then that's on you, sir. I don't know.
Sir, let me see if you understand this question. If I play you a video of everything you said that day, would that help refresh your memory?
Sure, yes, sir. it would.
So it'd be better to have an objective record on video, right? Stop looking at him, buddy.
Sir, he's my attorney. I can look it up on.
Not your attorney.
Yes, sir.
It's a prosecutor, county
Yes,
administrator.
sir. I work for the county.
Okay. They claim they don't represent you, by the way.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Well, that's what they claim to me.
Do you have a question on
I do have a question. You can hear it?
that? No, sir.
You can hear my question?
No, sir.
What did I just ask you? This is ridiculous.
I agree.
I definitely agree. Contradict yourself how many times now? you if I'm allowed to be in there in general.
I don't recall it.
If I showed you video of you saying that, would that help refresh your memory?
I think we just asked.
Trespass appropriate or not?
Say that again?
Are you attacking the policy by asking this question?
The policy?
Yeah, the policy says you can't record.
I'm trying to establish that video doesn't lie.
I don't know anybody's disputing that.
Does video lie?
I think the point is.
So would my
Mr.
case?
Felix,
Yes.
the point is that there's a policy that says you can't record without prior permission.
There's also a video of the employee saying yes, you can.
Great.
Okay.
I don't know what to tell you about that.
What?
There's a policy that says you can't record without permission.
Mike Rosano and Tim Qued have told the employees that they can record in there.
According to
Are we going by the elected officials'
I'm going
statements
by
to
the
the
written
employees?
policy, not what.
So it doesn't matter what Mike Rosano and Tim Qued have told the employees.
I haven't heard Microsoft or Pinpoint say anything.
Did you
I've
hear
heard somebody that works there say something.
So you heard Jerry, the safety agent, who you met, and you heard the office manager for Landlink say, Mike Rosano and Tim Qued have told us they can record inside of here. You heard that, right?
I heard him say that. I also think it's possible that they may misinterpret something that was said, or
The office manager misinterpreted, both elected officials.
I know that the adopted policy that's in front of me today is what I'm going on.
And he just told you that they could change it on a whim, right?
Yeah.
You testified that, okay. So the policy doesn't really mean anything. It's their feelings, how they feel, who they want to target that day.
No,
That's what I'm getting at.
Is the whole point while we're here, whether that was applied.
But they contradict their own policy by saying they can't, they told the police reported to the supervisor, no action was taken. They allow them to record inside the tax collector's office regardless of the policy. They constantly are contradicting each other.
Again, not here on this, I'm here on whether they
You gotta
really
think,
violated the policy or not, that's why I'm here.
well, the policy's different from one employee to the next.
The policy that I'm referring to is the one that's submitted in evidence that was approved.
I also submitted a video of their high up management saying that they're directly from the elected official that people are allowed to record them.
I understand what you're
Also
saying.
on the police body cam, also a police supervisor said the same thing.
Yeah. To you about this case.
About this case?
Yeah.
About the tax collector's office.
I can't speak to that. I'm here to look at this policy.
Are you telling me you're gonna ignore that evidence of the employees?
I'm not gonna ignore it, but I'm gonna give it the weight I think it deserves.
And what weight does it deserve?
I'm not sure yet, but probably not the same as a written policy published on the website. Because people make mistakes.
The head of the Landlink tax collector's office is mistaken when she says the elected official and his direct underling told us that people can record in here. That doesn't hold much weight. They said that to a sworn police officer.
That doesn't hold as much weight to me as the policy that's posted on the website.
The policy they're not following.
I'm not talking about whether they're following it. I'm talking about the policy that's adopted. Whether she knew about the policy, whether the policy changed, I don't know. But if I'm taking what she thinks she was told versus what's posted on the website, I'm gonna give more weight to what's posted on the website than what the policy is.
And not the actual actions they're taking.
I'm
reality.
considering the actions they're taking in your case. I wasn't involved in any of them. I'm listening to the evidence today.
This is the head of the tax collector's office.
Who, Mike Fasano?
Correct.
Right, Mike Fasano didn't say that. All I have is
He did say.
somebody working for him saying he said that.
Okay, can I email you the video of Mike Fasano saying? Will you give that any weight?
If you don't have it with you today, I don't think I can consider it under the rules.
So I have to sit through 8 hours of body cam footage to get the exact moment?
If you want to submit it as evidence, yes, you do. That's how it works.
And why can't I email it afterwards?
I'd have to check the rules, but I think everything has to be submitted today at the hearing to give the county the opportunity to look at it and make objections or to make argument about it. If you email it to me, They don't get to do that.
Oh, you know
They
what that
email
means?
me stuff after, you don't get to do that, so it's not, everything needs to be
Sir, I'm not a
suspended.
lawyer.
I understand that.
Okay, I'm not bound by the same rules as a lawyer. I'm not part of the
That's
bar or
not
anything.
true at all.
That's not true?
Whether you have a lawyer here or not, the rules will be the same. That's what I mean.
So it's my obligation to know every court.
If you're gonna represent yourself in this proceeding, it's your obligation to know the proceeding.
But you did hear Fasano's employees saying specifically,
I
Mike
did hear that.
Fasano and Tim told us,
Yes,
people are allowed to record you. These are the people who wrote the policy.
I did hear that.
Okay, very good.
I don't know what weight I'm putting on it yet compared to
Okay,
the written.
I mean, if that doesn't hold weight, nothing will. This is not when I give case law, right?
No. Just questions for Mr. Gentry.
I think Mr. Gentry thoroughly involved himself, so I'm done with it.
Mr. Gunn, do you have any follow-up questions, Mr. Gentry, based on the questions that Mr. Filax asked?
I have some brief follow-up, and let's go. Okay, Mr. Gentry, you can't stand here today and say 100% beyond all doubts that the appellant was reporting in your office that day, correct?
No, sir.
Your determination based on his actions, based on your observations that day, that on the totality of the circumstances, that it appeared to you that he was recording.
Yes.
That would have initiated you to ultimately call the sheriff's office in this case.
Yes, sir.
During your cross-examination, you was asked, you had indicated that you asked the appellant while inside the lobby prior to law enforcement arriving, what public record he was there for. Is that correct?
Yes.
Did you ask him that?
I did.
Objection. You did not ask that. And if I had a video, I could prove it.
Mr. Felix, if you don't like his answer,
It's not his answer, like it's the lie.
well,
It's a lie.
okay, but as a finder of fact, is what I am as a presiding hearing officer, I have to take what he says and give it weight, and I take what you say and give it weight. Just because you tell me it's a lie, how do I know it's a
The
lie?
whole point is that I could prove it if I had my constitutional right to
It's not
record.
the point, it's not why we're here today.
That
That
is the
would be an
point.
argument against the policy in and of itself, and I'm not here to do that.
So would you rather have an objective record or verbal testimony?
I'm not here to determine that. I'm here to determine whether they apply the policy that's in place appropriately with the trespass ordinance. That's what I'm here for. If you want to challenge the constitutionality of the policy, you would have to do that through the circuit court. I'm sorry. It is how it is.
Interesting.
When you asked
It's
him,
facts.
Hmm?
It's facts. I don't have the authority to rule that it's unconstitutional. or
And you don't have to follow your oath.
Excuse me?
You don't have to follow your oath to the Constitution. Is that correct? You don't have to follow Article 1, Section 24A and B.
I'm not answering that.
Okay, very good.
It's not even in the realm of reasonable context, though.
Following the law is not in the realm of reasonable context.
Alright.
Interesting.
There is tons of case law that interpret the Constitution and apply it in different scenarios and factual situations in different reasonable time, place, and manner restrictions.
And I've given you all the case law.
I don't have any case law today.
I gave it all to you last hearing and you ignored
I'm not. That's not fair to say either.
Of course it
away
is.
everything.
it. What's
I
that?
don't have the ability to rule that the policy is unconstitutional.
I'm not asking you that.
That's
Smith
what
v.
you were
Cummings
asking
says you
for
can
last
record.
time.
Smith v. Cummings says you can record public officials in the course of their duty, and anywhere the public's allowed to be, so is the press. Article 1, Section 24A and B says I can make public records requests and I can copy them in any form or fashion, including a camera. Part B says that I have a meeting with a public official.
You're challenging the constitutionality of the policy. That's not why we're here.
The law says,
What law?
Article 1, Section 24A.
Right. Again, you're challenging the constitutionality of the policy.
So the Constitution is not the law.
It's not what I said.
24A says I can copy in any form or fashion my public records and meetings with a public official. That's the law.
I don't think it says in any form or fashion.
It does.
I don't think it does say that.
It does.
Where we left off. You asked him inside the lobby prior to law enforcement arriving what public record he was there for, correct?
Yes.
And did he provide you that public record?
No, sir.
Okay. And the sum of your interaction with the account that day captured on video by one of your employees?
Some of it.
Did you get a chance to review that video prior to this hearing?
No, sir.
What's the relevance of the video? Objection, relevance.
And I'll play a copy for the appellant before I...
Objection. Objection, relevance.
He's answering. He said he would play it for you before he shows it to me.
I've seen it.
Well, I'm here letting him finish his answer, so I know this.
The relevance is that the video depicts exactly what they're having a dispute about of Mr. Gentry asking the appellant for the public record and the appellant not telling him the public record. He's raised that issue. He's raised that issue through cross-examination to his own point, which is in the video, the best evidence is that interaction is on video.
How can you have video when you're not allowed to record it? If I can't have video for my testimony, how come they get to submit video for their testimony? Again, that would be discrimination.
I think that's the definition of discrimination.
Well, the prejudice, whatever synonym you want to use. Again, that's unfair. I would love to have an objective record of what happened too, but I'm not allowed. But their employees and the police can have all the objective record they want to use against me, but I can't have it to defend myself in a bogus trespass appeal here.
Bogus trespassing.
Correct.
What do you mean?
Well, they're starting with the conflict of interest, starting with the fact that I can't make an objective record, even though the Florida Constitution says I can, and subsequent case law.
What prevents you from walking outside and then recording the interaction?
Because they won't come outside with me. They want to push me out, and then they stay in, and they even lock the door. As if like I'm a school shooter. They treat you like you're a school shooter when you go in there. He acted like a corrupt cop. Point blank. And when he told me he was a cop, he explained everything to me.
What does that mean?
I'm a police accountability activist for 20 years. Everything you saw on the stand here today is what I refer to as cop splaining. Answering questions that aren't asked. Deflecting, dodging, diciness, lying. That is, if you read any police report and compare it to their body cam footage, you'll see they never, 90% of the time, they never match up. Police, the courts have ruled the police are allowed to lie. His training, obviously, has carried forward into his current position.
I was going to respectfully object in that procedurally, this is not the time for his argument. This is my opportunity to ask rebuttal questions of the witness. He had on
You're right, and that's probably my fault for engaging. We'll get to your argument, okay?
Don's indicated he's already seen the video. Do you need to see it again?
Who's his? His video?
It's the one I'm just going to show the
Is
gentleman.
it the video that you took?
Yes.
I'm good, I saw it.
Mr. Gentry. May I review?
Can I watch it at the same time?
Yes. You want me to come over there, Mr. Donnelly, or you're gonna play with me? Sorry, I wasn't aware of what's going on.
Felix, I watched the video on your cell phone. And wasn't trying to watch this.
Go ahead. Am I being hostile there?
You're on your
I'll follow up, no problem.
What I'm gonna do, okay, you're on the network, we'll come back to this. That's fine. Well, that copy's over, and I think it's gonna take a minute. Your office has a manager, correct?
Yes, sir.
That's manager over the Wesley Chapel location.
Yes,
How many tax collectors' offices in Vasco County?
5.
And each of those 5 offices, each has its own office manager?
Yes, sir.
Is the office manager tasked with setting the day-to-day operations of the office?
Yes, sir.
And the way a Wesley Chapel office manager may be different from the way a Land O'Lakes office manager runs the office, is that right?
Objection, relevance.
But the relevance is he's raised some statements of the management in the Land O'Lakes office as to the way they treat video recording. The witness testified in cross-examination, he's not aware of any of that.
I think, yeah, I think it's fair you do. You did bring that up. He's trying to establish that they could be different.
How can it be different when they have the same boss and the same underboss?
I think that's what he's trying to prove to me right now, is that.
They all have the same boss. They all have the same rules. They all have to follow
You
the
can make
same
your
policy.
argument. You can,
Okay.
I would suggest you take notes, make an argument at the end.
Alright.
I just disagree with testimony, or you tell me it's a lie, I'll take all that into consideration.
Very good.
The video that came out during your cross-examination from the Land O'Lakes office, have you ever seen that video before?
No, sir.
Is that consistent with any directive you've been given in your employment?
No, sir.
You ever seen a situation where 25 journalists came into the office with their cameras turned off and set up cameras?
No, sir.
Objection, relevance.
Yeah, what is the relevance?
He raised that as you would allow that, wouldn't you, because they're not recording. He's trying to point out
He
that.
testified as long as they're not recording, they can put camera equipment in.
He's trying to show that.
And I made a miss with 25 journalists, I thought he talked about bringing in
25 cameras.
cameras.
Yeah, correct, not journalists.
You ever seen 25 cameras come into your office?
No, sir.
I know.
Objection, everyone has a camera in their pocket. So if there's 25 people in there, there's 25 cameras in there. And that doesn't include theirs.
You make your arguments.
I'm making an objection, he's saying there's never been 25 cameras in there, and that's blatantly false, because everyone has a camera in their pocket. So there's has been 25 cameras in there.
Again, that's argument.
Okay.
I have no further redirect.
I can follow up on that?
Only based on what you saw in the video and what he asked. That's all revert.
And that video you just saw, was that being peaceful?
Yes.
Was that being calm?
Yes.
Did I maintain that demeanor up until you forced me out?
No.
No?
No.
When was that not?
The longer we waited, the longer we got there, the longer conversation we had, the more upset you got.
You mean when I kept asking you to leave me alone and you wouldn't?
Yes, that was my job.
Your job is to bother me?
If you take it that way, yes, sir.
Okay, so your job is to bother me, that's your testimony today? Okay, very good. Did he take my property to the back?
I don't know, sir. You got that, sir.
Okay. Is he gonna be coming up on the stand for this gentleman?
He's not, you can call him as a witness.
Okay. Did you notice the 10 other people recording in there that day?
No, I didn't.
How come?
I didn't see it, the camera's closed, so I'm not sure.
So only if it's exposed, people can be recording, is that what you're saying?
If they have a camera in the pocket, I don't know what they're doing.
Okay, so if I had my body cam recording in my pocket, everything would have been fine?
I would have never seen your camera, sir.
So as long as you don't see it and wonder and feel like someone's recording, it's fine.
So how do I know you're recording if I don't see it?
You didn't know I was recording that day either. Correct? You've already testified
If I
that.
see the red light.
You've already testified that.
And I still didn't see it.
You've already testified that you didn't know.
I said,
And there's no way for you to know.
100% I did not know.
Correct. So you didn't see the other 10 people recording either then, right?
No, sir, I didn't.
Okay, very good. So you don't know. You didn't know if I was. You didn't know the other 10 people were recording. You didn't know. You went by your feelings and your emotions.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are you done with this witness?
I'm done with this one.
Or you want to play that video?
I'll try and play through the next one.
Alright, next witness.
Can we take a coffee break?
Sure. We'll take 5 minutes.
5 minutes?
Maybe 10 minutes?
10, please. If you don't mind.
Yeah, we'll come back at 12.
Appreciate it.
If you've made it through all this, bless you, bless your soul. You're a super duper fan. I think I thoroughly destroyed this guy on the stand. He just basically gave up and said, yeah, whatever you say, I'm wrong. And he was wrong, and he was wrong the whole time. And that's that. Thanks for watching this witness. Stay tuned for more witnesses. It gets good.